a time that we can also use this moment to talk about the goodness of the Lord. Now, what I'm going to simply ask you to do is give me about maybe 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes. I know once you've eaten, and you've eaten as much as I've eaten, your attention span is not that great right now. So I'm going to be very sensitive to that because I know how it feels. So I'm going to, if you'll allow me, when Pastor Matheny contacted me and asked me if I would talk or speak, and you know, when you find out it's a brotherhood thing, what's the first thing coming to your mind? Let brotherly love continue. Yes. Or love the brotherhood. And I wanted to go a different direction for these few minutes, just so that I can just kind of get our thought patterns going in a different way. And I thought about what is the necessity of the brotherhood. Why is it so important that we come together? What is brotherhood really all about? Is it about coming together and the brothers just cleaning up the church, making repairs on the church? Is it only coming together, having a wonderful breakfast like we've enjoyed this morning? Is it just saying we're brothers simply because there are brothers in the church and we need something to identify with, so we call ourselves the Brotherhood? And I thought it's got to be more than that. Those other things are great. Fellowship is healthy. Fellowship is good. But there's a necessity of the brotherhood that goes back a little further that I think if we would take in. Now, I've got about 4 points, but they're not only 4 points, these are just 4 points that I pulled out. And I thought about the brotherhood of Paul and Timothy. And I thought about how, can you imagine, where would Timothy be if he didn't have all the encouragement that Paul gave him? Think about it. And even in the same manner, brothers, we need each other.
Yes.
We need each other more than I think what we really recognize. In an age where we want to be independent of each other, I would dare say, since we're working on a common goal, since we're all trying to get to heaven, one thing I always preach when I went out in the country where I am, I always would tell the people, love your brothers and sisters, because I believe that there's going to come a time we're going to need each other. We're going to need each other, not for just substance that I can give you, here's $10 or $20 here or there, or I need $10 or $20, but I'm going to need you to help me make this journey. In 2 Timothy, I believe it's the 4th chapter, 2nd verse, it talks about, there's Paul encouraging Timothy, and it's a very familiar scripture. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, with all long suffering, or in a manner of being cautious. We need each other to help make this journey. I often thought, I said, I'm way out in Athens. I said, Brother Matheny's over in Atlanta. And all the bulk of the brothers and sisters that I've grown up and known, they're up in Indiana. And I said, if I'm out here, who can I turn to? And I know it's normal and a good thing to say, I can turn to Jesus. We always say that when we ain't got nothing else to say. I can turn to Jesus. I can go to Jesus. And while that's good in real life, every now and then I need somebody to say, brother, how you doing?
All right.
Brother, you can make it.
Right.
Lift up your head.
Yes.
Brother, be encouraged.
Yes.
Sister, you gonna make it. Because every now and then we need that, don't we?
Right.
But guess what else we need? We need somebody from time to time to say, brother, watch your step.
That's right.
Brother, be careful. Be careful, because I've been that direction. That's not a good direction to go.
That's right.
And it's not necessarily that they all up in my business. As much as it should be, I am concerned about the direction of my brother and my sister.
That's right.
To be sure that they don't fall in the ditch.
That's right.
It's critical that if I am headed to a cliff and don't know I'm headed there, I want somebody that knows the cliff is up there to get me and say, Brother Bland, turn around and go the other way, because if you keep going that way, you're going to fall off a cliff.
All right.
Well, that's my business. No. If we can just, you know what? Have you ever been in a place where you said you were at a red light and then it turns green? And then there's a truck, an 18-wheeler coming down that street, but I got the right of way. My light is green. So he's supposed to stop. I'm going anyway because I've got the right of way. It's green. You did right. You can be right, but you can be dead right. You don't just take the green light because you got it, or because you have, I'm 3 times 7, 21, and ain't nobody can tell me what to do. Every now and then we need our brothers and sisters to tell us, brother, be cautious.
That's right.
That's the purpose of the brotherhood, is to protect me.
Yes.
To love me.
Yes.
To love me when I need to be loved. And every now and then, every one of us are kind of unlovable, because I know I am. My wife tells me today, she said, you miss your mother. And she right. But every now and then, you need somebody to tell you, you know what, I believe in you.
Yes, right.
You know what, I believe you can make it. You know what, I see potential in you. I was on a bad path as a student in high school. Elementary and high school. I got to a place where I didn't care in 8th grade. Got to the place where I knew my mother had passed when I was 12. My father was working so hard to take care of 8 children by himself. I got kind of lost in there where I started doing what I wanted to do. I'd get my report card, tear it up. Wouldn't even worry about giving it to my father. Got to a place when I got to a freshman in high school, I was beginning to be steered in another direction. There was a man named Mr. Cole. I remember him from this day. He looked at me one day in my freshman orientation class. He looked at me in the eyes and smiled. And he said, I believe you're an intelligent young man. I've never heard that before in my life. He said, I believe you're an intelligent young man and you can do great here. And I looked and I stared at him as to say, are you serious? But he told me that, I believe you're an intelligent young man. And that was all I needed to hear. I didn't know that I was missing that. When he told me that, I straightened up my shoulders. And I stopped trying to wear my jeans that had my name on the back, matching my caboose jeans and my jacket, and be cool with the dogs. And I started thinking differently.
All right.
How would an intelligent young man want to look? How would an intelligent man try to go to the next level? How would an intelligent man try to present himself in a class? But if I didn't have somebody looking after my needs, looking after my well-being, like the brotherhood, who knows where I would be? We need each other more than what we really realize.
Yes.
And don't take it as somebody getting all up in your business when they come and tell you, brother, I'm concerned about you. I've been praying about you. The Lord wanted me to tell you, lift your head up. It's going to be all right after a while.
All right.
And you know what? Sometimes they'll say, brother, you're going the wrong direction. And you need to turn around.
Yes.
It ain't because I'm telling you this because I don't like you. Fact of the matter is, it's the opposite. I'm telling you because I love you.
Yeah.
And I want to see you do good. You know how our parents used to be, I'm whooping you because this is hurting me, boy. It's hurting me. Sometimes you want to say, if it's hurting you that bad, stop. Don't hurt yourself. But they told you that and you didn't understand it until you got bigger, that you, oh, I see what they mean now. But yes, if they did not love me, they could care less what I did.
That's right.
They could have cared less what time I came in at night or in the morning. They could care less, but because they love me, they wrapped their arms around me in a way with not only telling me all the good stuff, but they told me when I was going off.
That's right.
They told me when I was being challenged. So I say this to you brothers and sisters, and even tell it to your children, I don't care how young they are. You gotta take them and give them what's good for them. You gotta give rebuking at times. You got to encourage at times. You got to preach the word to them. And I don't say it just because you have to be behind this podium to be a preacher. I'm a firm believer. I preach a message every day I walk out my door. My lifestyle preaches a message. And the message that my life preaches is louder than any message that I can holler through this microphone with. Because people are looking at you and they're looking for a way out. Whether you know it or not, there are people that are living in darkness, are looking for somebody to rescue me. Come help me. You cannot convince me that everybody that's living in darkness wants to be there. So you got to live the life. That's preaching the gospel. You preach the gospel through the life that you live. You be ready to preach it at all times because you don't know who out there is going to need to hear a word from the Lord. That's right. You got to be in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke with all long suffering. That means you got to have a care and a likeness and a caution on how you treat people. Just don't be mean and abusive and abrupt. But the brotherhood is more than us eating breakfast. Now that we've eaten, now we can go out and live the brotherhood. Love the brotherhood. Let brotherly love continue. Be there for one another in every phase. God bless you.